the News Channel 8. I also host a weekly segment that comes on every Wednesday called Wednesday Child, where we try to help children throughout the state find permanent homes through adoption. But most importantly, I am a product of this wonderful New Haven public school system. And I like to send a shout out to all those teachers who thought enough of me to instill values in me. So if you had a teacher like that, why don't you make some noise and let them know how much you appreciate it? How much you love it. Yes, yes. So you heard the phrase coming, y'all know the phrase coming this weekend, right? All right. And how many of you know people who come to your friend not to watch the parade, but to bring some noise? Y'all know people like that? Do me a favor, okay? Do me a favor. When you see them or you hear them talking negativity about the Freddie, tell them Veronica Douglas from Channel 8 said to keep their butt at home. Can you do that for me? Do the rest. Yes, tell them to keep their butt at home. Because the Freddie Fixer, hear me good, everybody. Listen up. The Freddie Fixer is a positive event celebrating our community, celebrating pride in our community, celebrating pride in New Haven. Okay, not in different sections of New Haven. I'm talking about the entire LC. Right now, we've been going throughout the city to different places talking about stop the violence, and I gotta be honest with you. I'm tired of talking about stop the violence. I want us to actually stop it, so we don't have to talk about stopping the violence. Maybe we can just celebrate all you beautiful young people and the fact that you're here today. Yes, give me some round of applause. And speaking of celebration, there's a young man who's working diligently to keep the Freddie Fixer Parade going. Because I gotta tell you, every time there's a violent act at the Freddie Fixer Parade, there are some people who want to shut it down. And we understand they want to do that because they don't want any violence to happen, but we want them to understand that we can stop the violence, we will stop the violence, and we want to keep this parade going because it's a part of our history. It's a part of our heritage. So I need you to do me a favor. Hear me good now, because if you don't do it right, you have to shut it down. All right? He's the president of the Freddie Fixer Parade. He's a product of the New Haven Public Schools. In fact, he's worked here at Hill House. And whenever you think of prominent in our community and the Freddie Fixer Parade, you think of this gentleman. Okay, so I want you to make some noise like you've never made before. For the president of the Freddie Fixer Parade, please welcome Amari T.
That's not it, baby. That's not it, Red. Red.
Out of the way, so that we can have this awesome party. And the only way he's going to come out, because he needs some love. Every now and then you need a hug from the community, right? So the hug that we're going to give him is a round of applause. Stomp your feet, clap your hands, yell and scream, make some noise, because this is the brother that's helping keep the Freddie Fixer in our community. One more time, you know him from Hill House. He's the president of the Freddie Fixer Parade, and he's coming to the microphone right now. Please make some noise for Mr. Larry T.
A group of distinguished characters, not fictional characters, but real people, I should say. Mr. Ed Grant, Dr. Charles Twyman, who was an administrator there, Ms. Edna Baker Carnegie, and Dr. Fred C. Smith came up with an idea that they wanted to take pride in the neighborhoods in 1962 on this level. That's what Coach Carolina grew up, all right? But I know everybody went to school in Monterey Place. Anybody watch Good Times on TV1, the big high rises? Back then, in 1962, they had those tall buildings. Mr. Grant sat me down and told me that at that time, some of those apartment buildings in there, currently you may understand, had dirt floors. They still had dirt floors in 1962. That was 45 years ago, so that's not too far away. But these guys wanted to come up with an idea about revitalization and cleaning up the neighborhood. So what they did was they grabbed a lot of kids from that neighborhood, and they just started dedicating the month of May to a cleanup month. All right? They would help the elderly, take out trash, rake leaves. And these guys are basically ahead of their time. All right? They had something big, but they didn't really know what it was. All right? The following year, actually before that, they knew that you were onto something when they had the winos coming out the alley and sweeping up glass and getting out the neighborhood. So the following year at Winchester School, right, Dr. Fred Smith was like the neighborhood physician in that area, all right? He was like the go-to guy, in that area. Who was sick, everybody would see Dr. Smith, all right? He wasn't the key organizer of this ecology program, but he was very instrumental in helping provide resources to this wonderful program that these guys created. So the following year, they was at a meeting at Winchester School. They was trying to get the kids to come up with a name of a program that they wanted to do. So it's not a black thing, it wasn't a white thing, it wasn't a Puerto Rican thing, it was an ecology program. All right, it was an ecology program. So one of the kids shouted out, "Why do we call it Freddie the Fixer?" So then he started laughing as if, it was a joke. So then he shortened it to Freddie Fixer, all right? Now, at first they were scared of the word fixer because they thought about like a title about where someone fixes a fight. Like how, for example, I would pay Coach Carolina a couple dollars to take a fall but knock him out. You know what I'm saying? So they would call that fixing. You know what I'm saying? So they was kind of scared of it. So they didn't want to call it Freddie the Fixer. So they shortened it to Freddie Fixer. So they named it after Dr. Fred Smith, even though he wasn't the key organizer of the parade or this ecology program. He was just helpful. Not to mention the fact that he was the first African American on the board of police commissioners for Yale. All right? So in 1963, you could just imagine 7 people in a line with one drum and a bugle, and all they did was march around the corner, march around the block. Okay? And they cleaned up the community. This special spirit of revitalization and pride, and they took pride in the community. That's why they walked through neighborhoods that they cleaned. Now we evolved into a parade with such mass appeal. Over 250,000 people come out on Dixwell Avenue. Now they went from Freddie the Fixer to Freddie Fixer. Now it's 2007, and you guys call it the Fred. All right? So just give Freddie Fixer Parade a round of applause for 45 years strong. You know what Freddie Fixer is about. And what we do is have an annual community cleanup. We have a celebrity basketball game, which is this Saturday at Wilbur Cross. We got Pete Diddy and the Bad Boy All-Stars. They're playing Connecticut All-Stars. We got the high school All-Stars. I got see Kwame, they come and do it big. We got the AAU basketball game. We got the Voice of Harlem. We got the Chicken Noodle Soup. We're gonna come and host it. That's this Saturday at Wilbur Cross. So you guys gotta come and check it out. It's gonna be live. Not only that, we got signature drill around. We got a pretty lot of drill teams like Nation, TNL, Mob Squad, and some teams from Philly and Jersey. They're coming down to do their 1-2 things. They're doing all that. Round roof. All right? And it's all hosted by the big man, Mr. Tell Him Why You Mad. He's gonna be here. That Pharaoh Launch and Grab. We have a lot of things that we're trying to strive and again do for you guys. All right? It's not about us, it's about you. All right? And then we have the parade. The parade is coming up. All right? So what we like to do is encourage you because we know everybody in here is going to be successful. Everybody in this room is not affiliated with violence. Everybody in this room is not associated with a gang. Everybody in this room don't be repping these different goods like I do here all the time. Not this room. Nobody here got warrants. Nobody on parole probation. Nobody here don't got to report to the substation, even the probation officer. I know everybody here is straight. But just in case you know somebody who is like that, all right, we need you to go back and tell them, don't bring them on here. You see what I'm saying? Don't come on Dixwell Avenue with that crap. Now, of course, you're going to see like the police officers dressed up like Officer Pontoon. But the scary thing, Raul, the scary thing is that you may see an officer who you might not think who's dressed like myself, who might be dressed like you the same day. Fine, this is a fine undercover officer. You understand what I'm saying? Who dress just like you, plays all along Dixwell Avenue. Now, I'm not saying it's y'all, but just in case you know somebody, you better let them know. Don't come out here with that. Don't come out here with that. Leave your dogs at home. Don't come out with 10, 12 pit bulls. Don't do that. Don't come out with those snakes in your neck, the pipe out. We don't get all that. Let's make this a parade to remember. Alright? Let's make it a peaceful parade. We didn't have any violence last year. We didn't have any violence the year before that.
I'm going to make a plan to them. They support it. They give money towards this event. And they've been supporting us for a long time. Tom Nicklin over there on the video camera. Hi, Tom. We're probably going to be on television today. Everybody make a time. Yeah, a lot of friends have been powered in. A bunch of folks over there in his own home. And I don't know about you, but I've had stories. I have a nephew that used to go there, Anthony Williams. He's not here anymore. Anthony's in prison. Okay? I'm just being real with you, because that's all I know how to be. And I remember sitting in the newsroom, hear me good, sweetie, don't talk after I'm done. I remember sitting in the newsroom one day and watching the news, and on the news it was a story about a young man that was shot on Sherman Avenue. When I looked up, and it was my nephew. I don't know if you've ever experienced having someone shot, having violence hit you in your own home, but it is devastating. And I couldn't keep it real in the newsroom. I had to yell and scream because I was in pain. Because I had told him so many times that the life you lead will lead you in jail or jail. So hopefully, he's going to get together while he's in jail. All I can do is leave him in my prayers. But there's a young man here, and I want you to give him so much love because he's sharing his pain, but he's turning his pain into passion. And let me tell you how awesome he is. This is a personal story. It just happened to me last night. Last night, I was sharing with my mother who has Alzheimer's. You know what that disease is? When you forget things, right? I'm dealing with this, y'all. I'm being honest with you. And so she's forgotten a lot, right? So I went over there. I brought some pictures from the Elks back in the day, right? So I was pulling out the Freddie Fixer pictures. I was like, Mom, check this out, remember the Freddie, this, that, the other? And she said, how's Dougie doing? You know Dougie's the kid. He used to be the drill team. Yeah, he used to work with those kids out there. Now listen, y'all, that's the positive influence. She might have forgotten how to button her jacket. She might have forgotten how to tie her shoe, but she didn't forget about a young brother working hard in the community. Please give it up for Douglas Garcia!
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Everybody claims this is their house. I graduated away from here in 1988. I was Mr. Freshman, Mr. Sophomore, Mr. Junior, and I was senior class president. So Larry, Kerm, this is my house, dog. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. I love you, Larry. I love you, Larry. This is my house, dog. Listen up. Last year, I'm gonna tell y'all a true story, true talk. I know y'all seen me on the news. I know y'all seen me in the newspaper. It's for a purpose. To save somebody else's kid's life. Last year, November 23rd was my son's birthday. I didn't see him on his birthday. He came to my house for the 27th. I'm sitting on the couch and I said to my other kid, I said, you know what, Scotty didn't come around for his birthday. An hour later, my son pops up and walks through the door. That night, we sat on the couch, watched TV, fell asleep on the couch together. He was a good kid. He put his feet all in my face. I'm moving, get away from me. I go upstairs, get to bed, come back downstairs that morning. He ain't up yet. And usually when Daddy comes downstairs, he jumps up. Okay? About 4 o'clock, 4:30,
I'm taking my daughter to the store. I run into my son. Scott, don't live in New Haven, born and raised in New Haven, but moved up to West Haven. He come by, just going to our house to get his money. I said, Scott, listen, dog. These people around here kind of off. They don't know you. They don't know you. So go get your money and bring your behind back to the house, because you ain't too old to get beat with a belt. Playing with him. I ride out, get back home. 20 minutes later, real talk, y'all, I get a phone call that my son been shot. Okay? I rushed over to my sister's house. My son laid out right in front of my sister's door. Laid out. Okay? Face down. Dying. Slipping away minute by minute because somebody wanted to act stupid. Somebody wanted to play with a gun and rip a hood that ain't even in it. When we die, go to heaven and hell, you can't bring nothing with you. Okay? You can't bring nothing with you. So now, I'm seeing my son die. My firstborn. That's what the tattoo is about. My firstborn. It's all I got to remember my son by. So don't want to sit here and rep the train, the bill, the tribe. Ain't getting you nothing. Ain't getting you nothing. Okay? Now, I'm making sure that I know you want to party, but this is true talk, y'all. I'm in the ambulance. Now I gotta get in the ambulance with my son. Think about this, y'all. With my son, they in the back working on him hard. I'm sitting in the ambulance. I work for the ambulance company, and I'm looking at my son. He's holding on, and his hand is doing this. His hand is doing this. I turn to look at traffic because we stopped. I'm telling everybody, move, get out, let's go. I turn back around to my son. His hands like this. My whole body is numb. We go to the hospital, they rush me in the back, I can't go with him. They put me in the room. God came to me and said, listen, let it go, he's gone. I'm like, what? I believe I'm going crazy. So I lose my son, God puts me at ease. That's why I'm fighting for your lives. So let me do my last thing and tell you my last story. I didn't only lose my son. I didn't only lose my son. We lost the two young men that acted stupid, let's be honest, and pulled the trigger and killed my son. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all sitting here and think it's okay to get a gun, and it's cool to get a gun and shoot somebody, it's not. You not just heard that person, you heard the whole family and our community. So let me tell you something. The two people that killed my son, I ain't settling for nothing less than 50 to 60 years life. So understand that. When you sit here and take somebody's life, you ruining your own life. You see him in court crying, I want to go home with my mother after the judge said it was for 40 years in life. Listen, make better decisions, make better choices. Come on. You can be something in life. Don't sit there and let nobody put a gun in your hand. Just because they put that gun in your hand, don't mean you gotta shoot somebody. You give it back and say, listen, that ain't me. I want to go to college and make $60,000, $70,000 a year. Listen to your teachers, listen to your principal, and listen, don't be good to nobody else, just be good to yourself. I love y'all and y'all be good.
I want to thank one more time the Howard Behavior, Tom Fickman, and all the wonderful folks in the Pioneers Evening for continuing to support you. Give them a round of applause one more time for supporting you. And I need you to hear me that all of us here are from different locations around the city. I was born and raised in New Haven, Winchester Avenue, Hill. Everybody here is from a different place, but we get along. You are from New Haven. One more thing before I go. One more thing. Stop calling each other the N-word. And you know why you do it? I want to say this before I leave. I got to get back to the newsroom, but you do it because you don't know who you are. If you knew that you were from Kings and Queens, you wouldn't be calling each other that. See, because your ancestors died, so that word would not be used. So every time you say, what's up, my N-I-G-G-A or E-R, or whatever you're saying to make it cooler, Think about the fact that you're just stabbing your grandmother, your great-grandmother, your great-grandfather in the back. Because they sweat, they bled, and they died so that word would not be used. I know things are happening, but every time you think about using it, just think about your beautiful, beautiful great-grandmother or grandmother, whether you know them or not. We're here because of them. Remember who you are. I gotta go. I love you. I gotta go. I love you.